everyone, I'm Brandy Williams. From the poker capital of the world, 25 top poker players go head-to-head with almost $2 million in cold hard cash. The pots are big, the egos are even bigger, and it all starts right now.
Hi everybody, I'm your host, Chad Brown, and welcome to Binion's Gambling Hall and Casino here in Las Vegas. It's another exciting episode of our new show, Cash Poker. Now with me tonight, what can I say about this guy? He's the best-selling author of Harrington on Hold'em, Volume 1, 2, and 3, World Series of Poker champion, real estate mogul, chess master. I mean, what doesn't this guy do well? I mean, he probably does sprinklers well. My good friend, Action Dan Harrington.
Well, thank you, Chad. It's great to be here.
Great to have you, Dan. Now, last week it was a lot of action. We had Barry Greenstein, Doyle Brunson, and I. We won our share of hands. But the biggest part of the night was won by amateur Terry Myers.
Well, Terry got lucky. He hit a full boat on the end of the hand. He beat out a flush by Gabe Thaler. It netted him over $30,000. Quite a hand by the amateur.
Whoa, it sure was. And tonight, well, we got some other world-class players at our feature table. I'm looking forward to a great night of poker.
It should be exciting. Let's meet the players.
In seat number 9, Kevin Aronson from Mission Viejo, California. In seat number 8, Kenny Tran from Arcadia, California. In seat number 7, Alex Roberts from San Francisco. Todd Brunson is in seat number 6 from Las Vegas, Nevada. Cloney Gowan from Dallas, Texas in seat number 5. In seat number 4, Mike the Mouth Mattisau, also from Las Vegas. In seat number 3, Brandon Adams from New Orleans. In seat number 2, Vanessa Russo from Hobie Sound, Florida. In seat number 1, Max the Italian Pirate Pescatore from Milan, Italy.
The blinds are up, the antes are in. Let's shuffle up and deal. We're underway here at Cash Poker. The blinds are 75, 150 with a $25 ante. A lot of these players have been playing for a few hours, so some people may be on tilt already.
That could very well be. Mike Mattisau might be one of those people. I don't know whether he knows it's his turn or not, but he may be thinking about betting with Queen Deuce, which is a weak hand.
He's looking at Brandon Adams because he doesn't know it's his turn. A lot of times people are steaming, they're not as focused as they should be.
Correct, and it's scary. He's one of the sharpest players in the world. That 7-4 raise by Todd's very aggressive from this position. Todd's a good enough player to know he can play against his table image to gain an advantage.
Todd flops a gut shot straight. Kenny Tran flops top pair queens. Todd makes a continuation bet. Kenny makes the call.
Well, Todd should be concerned now with that call.
King of hearts. He's going to fire another bullet.
This is very aggressive on Todd's part, probably too aggressive.
He bet 1,000 on the flop. He bet 2,000 on the turn. Kenny, of course, makes the call. Now the river gives Todd a pair of 4s. So now Todd actually doesn't need to bluff.
His hand is good enough to pick off like an ace-high flush draw.
Right. But of course, Kenny Tran's going to win the hand with top pair queens. Nicely played by Kenny. Dan, here's something interesting. Kenny Tran is under the gun and he's straddling. You want to tell the folks what straddle means?
Straddling is for a player who wants more action. He's under the gun. He doubles the big blind, so it's 300 to start, and he's trying to stimulate big pots.
And Vanessa Russo has pocket ace and she raises it up.
That's a good raise. She's trying to limit the number of players.
Mike Mattisau, Dan, called with the ace-5 of spades.
Oh, baby.
Kenny makes the call. He feels he's getting the right pot odds with a 9-6 offsuit.
Yeah, he could fold.
Give me the option, that's all.
Check.
So Vanessa makes the check.
I always bet, you know that.
Kenny checked, Vanessa checked, and Mike Mattisau, who has bottom pair of 5s with the ace kicker, he fires out a bet for $1,300. There's $3,400 in the pot. And he's going to get everyone to lay it down, and Mike's going to pick up the pot.
Yeah, this is a case where he figured the 2-over card, someone would have bet if they hit either one of them, and if he's decided to take it down.
At the horseshoe today, it's all over.
I keep threatening that guy. If you ask me to be your friend again, I'm going to have you thrown off of MySpace and all that. And he keeps sending it every day now that I said that.
You notice, Dan, as opposed to tournament poker, in cash poker, there's a lot more chattering going on at the table.
It's a lot lighter. There's no impending doom you're going to get knocked out the next moment. So people can afford to be lighthearted.
Teaches how to cheat. It's like how to rob a bank. I'm gonna do a MySpace. How to rob a bank.
I'm sure everybody's read the book How to Cheat Me and the internet. I know
Todd
I gotta get
Brunson
cheated.
showing his tight image by playing with the 7-6 offsuit.
How come every time you have like aces or kings or trips, they all fold, and as soon as you have like squadouche, it goes raise, re-raise.
I don't like every aces in this spot.
Whenever you have squadouche, you get re-raised, and whenever you have
Max
the joint,
Pescatori in the small blind. He has Jack, 8 of clubs. He's getting the right odds.
Of course that's what he has. That's why he's complaining about everybody calling.
hey, anybody down there want to call? I mean, I raised the first time I played in a month. 7 people called.
Wait, I got a deal. I'll play 2 hands like in blackjack. I'll play 2 hands against you.
3, 6, Jack with 2 diamonds.
Check.
Cloney checks.
Let's be friendly. You got 1 chop right now?
Todd, of course, has a pair of 6s on the flop. Now the turn card gives Todd 2 pairs, 7s and 6s. Max Pescatori, he's trying to bet it out with the top pair jacks.
He waited too long with those jacks. He's going to get trapped into a hand with Todd.
Now let's see how Todd decides to play it. He can raise it or he could just flat call. He decides to just call, and Kenny Tran, who had the flush draw, lays it down. It was a $2,000 bet. And look at this, Queen of Diamonds on the river. Boy, Kenny's got to be sick.
I win.
And Todd Brunson's going to pick up a $6,700 pot.
Nice check on the river there, Goldilocks.
Yeah, I'm sure he was going to pay me off with a Jack 8. Right?
Could have bet 1,000, man, and you might have got paid off.
Mike, I don't need advice from a guy who loses $1 million a month on the internet, okay?
That's true.
This is Cash Poker from Binion's Gambling Hall and Hotel, where players are betting big, big money. So don't go anywhere. We've got hot poker action.
I got plenty of money, man. I just don't have any. I got rich friends, man. Todd's my friend.
He said, I'm just cash broke. I owe everybody cash.
It's true. I tell everybody, yeah, I'm so broke. I just play the biggest game every day. I'm never out of action. They go, how do you get money? I said, I got a tree in my backyard.
It's not the money you have, it's the money that you can borrow.
In this poker world, I don't care who you are. If you don't have borrowing power, you're dead. That's the truth. Because everybody's going to go on a losing streak eventually.
Max Pescatori, pocket 10s on the cutoff. He makes a pretty big raise here.
I agree with that. That's a decent size raise, and it's okay for this position.
Why do they try and run me over? I mean, they know that I'm just going to play back at them.
Now Mike the Mouth, he's coming back
15,
over the top.
16, 16-5.
And Mike has Jack Queen of Diamonds.
This is a decent hand on Mike's part, and he probably feels the guy in the cutoff seat is weaker than normal with his raise, and he hopes to take the pot right now.
Mike re-raises 2,200.
I hate when they do that.
And bingo, look at this. Set of 10s from Max Pescatori.
Oh, Mike senses something. He checks.
Well, Mike has a gut shot straight. Wanted to get the free card. Now, if 3 clubs on the turn puts up 3 clubs, doesn't help either player. And Max, of course, with the set of 10s, doesn't want to slow play any longer with 3 clubs being out there. Now Max, he fires out 2,200, and Mike the Mouth lays it down.
I wonder if Mike knew that the call before the flop meant a very strong hand, and he wasn't going to take any action.
You know, for all of you folks out there who would love to play with some of the top players in the world right here at Binion's Gambling Hole and Casino, February 1st is the next time that you could put up 25 grand and play some cash poker on national TV. I think you're going to be playing, Dan.
I certainly will. I've set that date aside to play.
Todd, he's got a real hand this time. He has ace-king of clubs. He raises it to 400.
That's a kind of small raise, but it's certainly acceptable, and he has a very strong hand for that raise.
Is that a known player?
That's right.
Now, Kevin called with 9-10 offsuit.
Kevin's getting over 2-1 on his money, and he's good position, so he feels that's enough.
And this gives Todd top pair of kings. Kevin does have middle pair of 10s, and he's going to make the call.
Which is his misfortune.
Now, what do you think is going through Todd's mind? Do you think he thinks that Kevin might have a pair of kings too?
He's hoping that's exactly what he has, like king, queen, or king, jack, and he's going to try and milk him for as much money as possible.
Todd bet 700 on the flop. He now bet 1,500 on the turn. And he does get Kevin to make the call once again. And a good river card for Todd. Kevin finally gets the message, and he makes a good lay down.
So the bluff, good for the game.
Sir, you need to show the camera.
Yes.
Just the camera, just the camera.
5-6 diamond. Show it.
Both cards, now one.
Ace queen. You can see it.
It'd be good for the game.
Ace queen jack.
Welcome back to Cash Poker. The pots just keep on getting bigger, so let's get back to the action.
Todd Brunson's going to be under the gun. That did not qualify. Alex lays it down. Kenny Tran, ace jack.
Must raise.
He's going to make it 450 to go.
That's a normal bet for that position. I agree with it.
Max Pescatori, he's got jack 9 offsuit. Vanessa lays down her 9 deuce suited.
Yes, if I like you too, that's why. I always want to bust the people I like.
Mike the Mouth has pocket 10s, and he just makes a flat call out of the small blind, Dan.
I agree. When you have a decent amount of chips, you want to play conservative unless you have very high pairs. Now, this is a good flop for the pair of 10s.
Right. Now, 5 of diamonds on the turn, and Mike is going to lead out. Bets out 1,500.
I agree with this bet, and he should bet out.
Now, Kenny Tran, he doesn't have anything. He just has ace high. He has ace jack off suit. And what Kenny's got to be thinking, Dan, is that Mike saw weakness on the flop and might be just trying to steal right here.
That's what this call indicates, but what's he hope to hit here? I mean, Mike could easily have a pair here.
Action is on Max, who does have a pair of 9s. Looks like he wants to raise it. He is going to raise it. He's going to make it 3,500.
I like this play by Max. He's squeezing his two opponents. The hand that he thinks is in the middle, he's going to squeeze him out of the pot.
And he did get Mike DeMouth to lay down the 2-10s, which was actually the best hand. Now, let's see what Kenny wants to do.
I think Kenny's just pretending just to show that he had a hand, and he doesn't want people to know he called with nothing. He's going through the big motions. He's throwing it away.
But no, Dan, look at this. He's coming back over the top, and he's re-raising it. Max had made it 3,500 more, and he makes it 6,000 more.
When you re-raise someone else's raise, that is a tough situation to be in. You have to make a real good read. Now I think Max is the one in trouble.
What do you think?
I have no idea what's going on here. I mean, these guys are playing either too many levels above me or too many levels below me.
Well, Max makes the call. He does have the best hand. Let's see what comes on the river. Kenny, of course, looking for at least a jack or an ace. Actually, this is a bad card for Kenny, I would think.
I agree with you. It is a bad card for Kenny, but what was he hoping to hit? He had to either hit an ace or a jack or a 10.
Jack, take it around 2 million, please.
Max, to his surprise, is going to win the pot.
I might be the
I
worst
thought you
poker.
said ace 9.
I thought he said ace 9 too.
Ace high.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he
would be the worst
did.
poker player that ever walked the earth.
This is an amazing hand. I mean, you've seen a lot of plays in this hand. I can describe them, but I can't believe them.
I might be the worst player ever.
How's the table going?
Fairly well. I mean, you never know in cash games, but so far I played very well. So
Is it a
very
tight
happy.
table, loose table? What's going on?
It's a smart table. I
Yeah?
think this is the toughest table of the three.
Sorry, young lady.
On my phone, he turns off the ringing.
Vanessa lays down her hand. Brandon has queen 8. He's going to get rid of it. Mike DeMouth,
He's at it again.
ace 9, raises it up, and that's okay, Dan, from this position, right? Everyone folded?
Oh, absolutely. He's that hand is strong enough from late position.
All right. Me and the best.
We're going to have heads-up action between Kenny and Mike again. And look at this. Kenny flops middle pair of jacks. He checks, and Mike checks as well.
Mike isn't going for these traps anymore.
Kenny once again checks, and Mike correctly checks. Kenny bets 1,000 on the river, and Mike makes the correct lay down.
Does anybody know what happened to Mike? Is he still here?
Now, notice this. This was what a good player does. He had a hand that was legitimate, that could win on its own, even though it wasn't very strong, so he wasn't going to waste any money in the pot. If his opponent was going to fold, the ace was probably going to win the hand anyways.
Well, Vanessa Russo is going to be under the gun, and she hasn't been getting any hands, Dan.
Well, part of being a good poker player is knowing when not to play.
Having patience, waiting for your turn to get some good cards. Now, Brandon Adams, he hasn't been playing many hands either. There's ace, jack of spades.
This is a marginal hand in this position, but playable.
Mike DeMouth lays it down. Cloney lays it down. Todd Brunson has pocket deuces. Makes the call, and look at this. Alex had ace queen, Dan.
I'm a little bit surprised by the ace-queen. Probably because Brandon has been very conservative up to now. Alex probably feels that he's facing ace-king or maybe just a good pair and doesn't want to play.
Well, it didn't hurt Alex. Brandon hits top pair of jacks on the flop, and he is going to continue out. He bets 800. He bet 600 pre-flop, and he makes it 800. And Todd, who only has pocket deuces, He's making the call, hoping that Brandon is just making a continuation bet.
He's going to force Brandon to bet again if he has a hand.
Brandon does and is going to oblige. He bets 2,500. Brandon Adams picks up the pot, 5,700. Close. The action continues here. If you just joined us, I'm Chad Brown. I'm here with World Series of Poker champion, Action Dan Harrington.
We notice Mike Matusow is in the action again.
Kenny Tran raises it up, just making a play. He has 5-4 off suit. He has position, and he also wants to show strength with his position, Dan.
What a surprise.
You know, I'm not gonna.
I see something big going.
And look at this. What a great flop for Kenny.
He's going to get rewarded for this.
And of course, Mike has no hand and is going to have to lay down the king, queen of diamonds. But what? Did Mike make a call there, Dan?
It looks like he did.
Oh, he must have thought the two hearts were diamonds. We got to get Mike a new prescription for his glasses.
Let's see what Mike does now.
Well, Mike checked. And Kenny now wondering what could Mike have called with on the flop. Kenny probably guessing that Mike must have a dry ace in his hand, hoping that he makes his pair of aces because that would give Kenny the straight.
Yes, Kenny probably feels like if he doesn't have Mike beat now, he has certainly a lot of outs to come to beat him.
And it's checked. Kenny does check it. And the river is a 9 of diamonds, no help to either player.
Easy call.
King high.
He was just hoping that Kenny had an ace and would lay the ace down even though it was the best hand for the $1,000. That's the only thing I can think of.
I'm really steaming, by the way.
And we all believe what he just said. He is steamed.
Can you give him 20 now?
He just gave his money away.
Same thing. Just pick
I think the players are mocking Mike Matusow again, Dan.
Every tournament is a Mike Matusow attack.
We're gonna play poker now, boys.
I want to move it here because then Kenny can see it. You guys see that?
I can't see my hand.
Alex Roberts, we saw him earlier lay down like ace-queen. I think he must be waiting for aces there.
No, but I'm steaming.
Aces or kings?
Max Pescatori, 10 king of hearts. He raises it up to 550. Now Vanessa Russo.
No, I know he would never raise my blind right now without a hand.
She has 10 queen of diamonds, and she's on the button, and she finally got a decent hand, and she's going to call in position.
That would be stupid.
It's a good flop for Vanessa. It gives her a flush draw. Max still technically in the lead with king high. He fires out another bet for 1,000. Let's see how Vanessa decides to play it. Now Vanessa's going through all her options. Really, her only options is she only has 2 options, either just a call or, and she's going to raise.
I raise.
And Max doesn't even want to know how much he's going to raise to. He just says, take it, because he only had king high. And Vanessa Russo is going to finally win a pot.
So what you're saying is you don't really want to sit that close?
Oh, no, I'm just saying. These guys are my friends.
They're not going to show that.
Players are talking about what hands might be seen on TV.
And Hope Springs Eternal, that'll be their hand.
Now Max Pescatori,
Where is
pocket
the straddle?
deuces.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead and put
This
it in.
is a kind of small pair.
Yeah, give him the cards, man.
You can play it or you can throw it away.
We already tried that. Can I have my card back?
150.
No, don't pick them up.
It's mine.
No, come on. Now he can see it.
Looks like Max called the 150.
Dealer, I mean...
Mike Matusow with 7 jack of diamonds raises it up to 400. Now that's a small raise now with a limper, Dan.
He wants to set up for after the flop. He's afraid if he makes a big raise, he might be trapped into a hand where the limper was limping with a very good hand, and he'd get re-raised.
And look at this. What a great flop from Max. He hits a set of deuces. Mike bet 1,800.
A continuation bet to try to take the pot now.
Now, I think Max should just flat call here. Other than the 2 hearts on the board, with Mike raising him pre-flop, I'd want to not scare Mike out.
That could be true, but, you know, Mike's an experienced player. He's going to be really scared of just a call from Max in this position. Maybe Mike has a legitimate hand to be in a big pot. A re-raise is not out of the question here.
And Max does re-raise it. He makes it 6,500 more to go, and easy lay down for Mike. Max is going to take the pot.
There's plenty more hot poker action coming up, so don't go anywhere. We're here at Binion's Gambling Hall and Hotel with 25 top poker players who have gathered to play cash poker. Let's get back to that action.
So they made the player give him
back money. Wow.
I swear to God.
Oh my.
I guarantee you.
Max, who had just picked up the pot with pocket deuces, is under the gun, and he's going to lay it down.
I raise.
Now look at this. Vanessa, she has pocket rockets. Let's see how she plays it. Now she makes a pretty big raise here, Dan.
900's well within the range of permissible raises. You could raise as little as twice the amount to 5 or 6 times the amount. So I don't strenuously object to this.
You think they call decision on that? I will leave $300 in there.
I know how much you have?
How much do I have?
Behind, how much you have?
Like 13,000?
There was a pot in
Okay, this is really ironic. I totally just said I'm about to get a hand. I got 1 ace. I said pair me up. And I get 2, and I get no action.
This I do object to. I don't like to show my hands afterwards because other people can pick up that if you had a certain tendency of motion during the hand, that you have a strong hand, and now you're confirming it by showing the hand for free.
You're giving them additional information.
And it doesn't cost them anything.
Like, what are the odds of that? What are the odds of that? I'm gonna say pair me up. Let's try it again. Pair me
Put the
up.
money out there and
You know, for all of you folks out there who would love to play with some of the top players in the world right here at Binion's Gambling Hall and Casino, February 1st is the next time that you could put up 25 grand and play some cash poker on national TV. Now, Brandon Adams, he has ace-queen offsuit. He just limps, Dan.
Conservative play, and so far that seems to be typical of his play.
Todd, ace-9 of diamonds. He calls. Kenny in the small blind, he has 6 deuce, and he's going to call. It's only cost him $75. And Kevin's going to check with 10 jack in the big blind.
So it's still like 1 in 100.
And pair of jacks for Kevin.
He's deciding what to do here. Does he lead out into the field?
And he does. And Brandon lays it down. Todd lays it down. And Kenny is he's going to lay it down. Kevin takes the pot. Action continues here at Binion's Gambling Hall. Vanessa Russo under the gun. 3-10 offsuit. She's going to muck it. Brandon 8 deuce. He's going to lay it down. And Mike DeMouth, he's got big slick. Let's see how he plays. He just limps here. Dan, you know, earlier he limped and he got raised by Kenny, and he might be looking the trap.
I think he is trying to play tricky here.
And Todd Brunson has pocket 8s. And look at this. Alex, who's been playing so tight, all of a sudden makes a raise with Jack-9 offsuit, makes it 700 to go.
I think he was encouraged by a couple of limpers in front of him and decided to see if he could pick up a pot with a sort of squeeze play.
But of course, making it 700, there's no shot.
I agree. He under-raised.
And an ace on the flop. Mike is in front with the ace. I'm sure he's going to slow play. Alex, of course, continuing. He bets 1,500. And Mike raises it up. He makes it 3,000 more. Todd, of course, lays down the 2 8s.
Show it, Mike. Good for the game.
Alex can't do anything but muck it. Kenny, of course, trying to ask Mike to show a bluff, but of course Mike can't show a bluff. He's got the nuts.
For once, Mike has a hand.
You know, Dan, let's reflect a little on that last hand. Alex, who's been playing so tight all night, actually in some occasions maybe playing a little too tight. Some players, after sitting for a long period of time, lose their patience.
Not only do they lose their patience, but also they're trying to take advantage of the fact that everyone perceives as being tight. But as you correctly pointed out, he'd raised too little.
Kenny has big slick. He makes it 1,300 to go.
He knows his auto call here.
I can definitely tell you.
Now, Kenny's making a big raise here. And Mike the Mal calls from the big blind with 6-7 of diamonds.
Kenny correctly saw that Mike was on the big blind, and he knew he was going to call any reasonable size bet, so he decided to make it extra large.
Now look, it was check. Kenny would have probably taken that pot down on the flop, but Kenny elected to check, and Mike hits a pair of 6s now on the turn, and again it's check.
Well, Kenny's scared of Mike. He's afraid Mike will check raise or call him with any hand.
And of course Kenny, and it's check, and of course Kenny thought that the ace-king alone could win the pot if Mike has nothing.
Kenny correctly made the right decision towards the end.
Right. And Mike's going to pick up a pot of $2,900. Mike the Mouth.
Welcome back to the excitement of cash poker. The players are racking in the chips and things are getting hot in here, so let's get to it.
Action continues at Binion's. Cloney's under the gun. 5-3 of spades, and she's going to let it go. Mucked around to Kevin with a 10-4 of diamonds. I guess it's suited. Let's raise it up to 600, he says.
Aggressive play, to say the least.
Max has ace-queen, and Max is deciding how he wants to play it. If he wants to come back over the top, just call. He's not going to lay it down. And you notice, Dan, Max was rubbing the hat. It's almost like a pitcher. Right before he's ready to deliver the pitch.
Well, that could be a tell that you're picking up. You should keep it quiet and make it...
Okay, I'm giving away trade secrets here. He does make the call, and Brandon, he re-raises with ace-king. Big slick. He's making a re-raise, 3,100 more.
You know, Brandon, that's the first time you squeezed all day.
I think the people are going to have to respect this re-raise. Brandon's been playing very tight.
It's going to be easy to lay down for Kevin. The only one that will be a tough lay down for is Max. But no, Max agrees with you, Dan.
Didn't even think about it.
And nicely played by Brandon.
If you get a 1-8 quarterback, that's strong. Huh?
To that guy,
he gets it back for him.
And what the players are discussing is there was an extra quarter in the pot, and someone put it in mistakenly. Todd was aware who it was, and Kenny got it back.
All right, boys.
This is the opposite of what normally happens. Everyone claims it.
And a lot of times, Dan, as you well know, they make side bets. They make extra money. I know Doyle's a big loser at that bet.
Absolutely.
Kevin limped with king-queen. Brandon's on the button, and since it was limped, he's getting the right price. 8-10 offsuit. Let's see a flop. Mike Mattisell laid it down in the small blind, and Cloney in the big blind has ace-6 offsuit. We're going to see a flop. And no help for any player. Cloney checks.
You got the button?
That's a good pot to move at.
That's your corner. Stop.
Kevin, he's going to fire into the pot. He makes it 500 to go, Dan.
Excellent bet in this situation. Probably no one hits anything because of that flop, and the first one to bet will take it.
And he does take it down. Nicely played by Kevin.
There is no rule. Not gonna
Talk about it again. I promise. That's it.
So you know, friendly table.
I didn't know it was such a sore spot.
I declare war on all of you.
Well, Alex under the gun. He's going to lay it down. Now, Kenny Tran, he's got pocket tens, and he's just going to limp, Dan.
That's a good alternative play in these situations.
Vanessa, deuce, 4 of spades. She's been playing relatively tight.
6.
And she sensed weakness by Kenny. She's just trying to make a play here. The only problem is she's only making it 600.
These players are under raising. I imagine what they're trying to do is win
not
after the
funny.
flop.
That mistake already cost me so much money.
Brandon has pocket jacks. And look at this. Brandon's re-raising. He's playing his hands strongly. Makes it 2,400 more to go. He wants to take it down.
Kenny doesn't want to face a raise and re-raise.
This is the point in time where, like, your argument about, like, oh, the first time kind of thing is where he shouldn't get away with it. No, this would be like the 7th time he re-raises me.
And what Vanessa's saying is that Brandon has come over the top of her many times. Of course, she has deuce 4 of spades right now, and she's going to have to lay it down no matter what.
She gave the long think just to make Brandon think that she had a legitimate hand.
Well, they don't show any hand I played.
Nicely played by Brandon just to take it down right there.
All right, we're back here with Mike the Mouth, and I haven't really heard you get your mouthy over here. Are you been having some good hands?
28,000 loser. I'm playing as bad as I could play. I'm running as bad as I can run. So it's a good combination.
I thought you were doing well. I didn't hear any loud noises.
Oh no, if I was doing well, you'd hear from me.
Oh, are you gonna stay here till 12?
I'm gonna stay here till I win a pot.
Until you win a pot.
Action's going to be on Max Pescatore. He's under the gun. And of course, under the gun is the worst position to be in. You got to have a pretty good hand to start off, Dan.
Yes, you have to fade 8 other players behind you.
Oh, no. I say less than 27, 25. 25.
Now, Brandon, he has ace-8 of clubs. He's going to raise it up to 600.
Very marginal raise, and especially for Brandon. I didn't think it was in his vocabulary.
Cloney now has put on Raymer-type glasses to try to change her luck. And everyone else mucks. We're going to have heads-up action. Bingo! The glasses work for Cloney. She flops a set of 4s, and Brandon is going to make a continuation bet at the pot. 1,200. Here's a spot. We saw what happened earlier with Max. This would be a good spot. Cloney has position to flat call.
Normally, I agree with you in this spot, Chad. I would call, but as these cards lay right now, calling gives Brandon a chance to get a straight.
2,000.
Cloney raises Brandon's bet. She wants to take it down right here. Now I don't see how Brandon's going to be able to call unless he thinks Cloney's on a bluff.
No need to be talking. I make a little Mike lay down the best hand. Of course you go crazy.
So he makes the correct lay down, and Cloney's going to pick up the pot with her set of 4s. Hey, Dan, it was another great night of cash poker.
That's right, Chad. When you have this caliber of players, all world class, they play hard against each other, you're in for a great night of entertainment.
Absolutely. And join us next week right here at Binion's Gambling Hall and Casino for another exciting episode of Cash Poker. I'm Chad Brown. For Dan Harrington, thanks for watching. Have a good night.
Almost $2 million in cash and 25 top poker players. What a night of hot poker action. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. I'm Brandy Williams. Good night.